Hello and welcome to Honest Art Talks Live. I am Michael Carini. I am changing the way that I am doing things on social media. So, this is the first talk I've done that looks quite like this. We'll see how it goes, see if I need to adapt, make some changes. Being an artist is all about adapting, making changes. Check out my link tree that is in my bio. It will show you all the places that you can find me. I just did a talk over on Instagram. I'm kind of trying to change things up to maximize the results, and not just in terms of metrics, but just in terms of making a difference and using the platforms that I have. And if you haven't seen, I have a ton of support videos here on YouTube. I do a bunch of shorts. Sometimes I tell jokes, sometimes I tell the stories behind the art, but I have a ton of videos with tips and guidance from my years of experience as an artist. I am getting back to doing some teaching. I'm doing some private lessons, I'm doing some group lessons. I do them remotely, and I also do some artist coaching. So if you're interested in learning from an artist that has done this for decades, has worked with galleries, I am happy to help you on your journey because we can all use a little help sometime. And I try to think about what would have helped me when I was earlier on my journey. What would help me today? Because a lot of things that would have helped me before would still help me today. This is a journey where you are constantly growing, you're constantly adapting, changing. There are ups and downs of being an artist. I'm a full-time career artist and I still deal with ups and downs every single day. So it's not like you have it figured out and it's just smooth sailing from there. It's not. There are always going to be changes, there are always going to be obstacles, but in life you have to choose your heart. And that's what I'm doing is I'm choosing my heart, and the heart that I choose is to live my dream, my purpose, my calling, what I know I was put on this earth to do. And so, what I want to talk to you about today is not losing yourself to social media and not putting too much stock into the algorithm and the metrics. And that's a big part of what I'm dealing with adapting right now is that I have been doing this for a while and I've looked at the things that I've done that generated numbers, and you all see it on social media. You see the people that go viral and get a lot of attention, and sometimes it's a dog and pony show or a dancing monkey to try to get attention. And I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm willing to be a dancing monkey sometimes, but I want to be a dancing monkey on my own terms, and a dancing monkey that dances to the beat of his own drum. And so, what I'm focused on these days is kind of letting go of the numbers, as hard as it sounds, but like really letting go of the numbers and focusing on being my true authentic self, being who I really am. And I'm a big believer that that's the most valuable thing that you can do as an artist is to be your true authentic self. Not everybody's going to love you. Some people will be completely indifferent, but what happens, or at least what's happened for me, is there are times that I started to see what was kind of doing well on social media and I leaned into it trying to kind of be the next thing or be what I thought everybody wanted me to be. And I lost myself in the process. And not only did I lose myself, but those things didn't even last. So they didn't last. And then I lost who I was. And a part of that is that I did have a traumatic brain injury in 2023. And with that traumatic brain injury, I've struggled with a lot of disassociation and just like I'm not really here. Like I'm trying to remember who I am. And I think that that's something that a lot of people out there go through, and I feel like sharing that will be more helpful to people than trying to pretend to be something that I'm not. Like, there's a lot of people on social media that share the glory moments or the trophies or talk about, hey, if you take these steps, then you'll be successful. Just buy my program that's 12 months and $40,000 and you'll have all the answers. I don't feel that that's really how it goes. And even when I teach, when I coach, what I tell people is I don't have all the answers and I don't always know what to say, but I will be honest about my journey. And I think that there's a value to that of being honest and sharing the totality of journey, the successes as well as the failures. And so on social media these days, what I'm doing is I'm getting back to just being me at the expense of the numbers, if that's what it means. So I am doing a mix of some of the jokes that I do, because sometimes I'll do little parody videos, or I'll make fun of the art process or of being an artist, because I don't want to take myself too seriously. And I also do a lot of stuff that's very focused on mental health, and I talk about very serious issues like addiction and suicide prevention. And so it can get very dark, and that's one of the reasons that I like to occasionally throw in some of the joke stuff, because that's who I am. Is I like to tell jokes because I like to make light of the fact that sometimes things can get really dark. And I like doing a lot of the educational based stuff, and I like doing some of the artist support. Sometimes when I do the artist support stuff, it doesn't get as much traction. It doesn't get as many views or as many likes. And so when I post things like this, it may perform poorly with the algorithm, which then makes it so my next post may not reach as many people. And I used to let that impact and affect me perhaps more than I should have. And I'm a full-time career artist, so I mean, I do need to make money as an artist. So it's like I can't completely let go of that. I need to know what is bringing in the resources so that I can continue doing what I do, because you can't really take care of other people until you can take care of yourself. So I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it to try to get rich, but I do need to sustain so that I can give you more. I want to help people out there. I want to help people find their voices. I want to help people on this journey because I know how tough it is. Someone said I must be a Hub fan. Oh, I'm a big Hub fan. Yeah, I even got some splatters on my shirt here. Oh yeah, there we go. So somebody said, "How old am I?" I am 40. So yeah, I'm up there in age. I'm seasoned. I've got some experience. So these live talks, which I'm going to start doing more of on YouTube, like I used to, but I'm shifting it up a little bit. This will be your opportunity to ask me anything and everything, and I will give you the honest, candid answers to help you on your art journey. I'll also come on here and I'll try to give a somewhat specific talk on a topic. Like today, we're talking about social media and not giving too much credence to the algorithm. But the thing about the algorithm is, me, for example, I have, say, on Instagram, I have almost 35,000 followers. On Facebook, I have 50, I think 57,000 followers. But you can have that many followers. It doesn't necessarily mean that those people are investing in your art as an artist. You can have people that engage with you. You can have people that don't engage with you. Even with the amount of followers that I have, sometimes I post stuff, and for whatever reason, it gets 10 likes or 5 likes. And it's very easy to let that impact you, your psyche, your on a psychological level. It starts to make you think, oh, geez, am I doing something wrong? Do people not like me? Do I not bring value? Especially if you spend a lot of time creating a piece of art, something that takes you a long time, a lot of emotional energy, and then you put together a nice little video package and you feel really proud of what you're about to share. And then you share it and nobody responds to it. It makes you think, well, geez, was that not as good as I thought? Do people not like what I do? Am I not valuable? Am I not good enough to do this? These are things that sometimes run through my head as somebody that makes a living doing this. So I just want to let you know that it's perfectly normal and okay to have those feelings. You don't have to be confident all the time. You don't have to be confident at all. But what I want to urge you to do is to not let a lack of confidence stop you from trying. Because if you don't try, then failure is guaranteed. But what I was ultimately getting to is that even with a large following on social media, it doesn't mean that you're always going to get a lot of engagement. And even if you're getting a lot of engagement, it doesn't mean that a lot of people are buying your art. So, one of the things that I'm looking at these days is recognizing my audience. Who is my audience? And a big part of my audience, or the primary part of my audience, is artists. They're not people that are going to buy my work. So, I'm learning to adapt my model in a way that can help me, but also help you. And so, like these live talks, your chance to ask questions, to talk about art. Somebody said, I love your art and your style. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. And I really appreciate that comment, particularly because, and I want to address this, YouTube is the worst platform I have ever seen in terms of trolling and nasty, mean comments that people will make. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the audience or just the way the platform is set up, but there are some brutal comments that come through on YouTube videos and YouTube shorts. And if any of you post stuff, some of you may have experienced that as well. And again, that comes back to the psyche of things. You put a lot of effort into something, you put it out there, and it's one thing if people don't like it, but for people to just say mean, nasty, terrible things about it, it hurts. It does hurt. I have to admit that. You can't not feel that as an artist, especially if you're really authentic in your work, you put your heart, your soul into what you do. You feel those things. But I do think that the most valuable thing that you could do is just, again, being true to yourself on social media. So if you want to tell jokes, if you want to be serious, if you want to vary it up like I do, and I think that one of the reasons I have such an ebb and flow in the reactions on my stuff is I'll post a joke 1 minute, then the next post will be about mental health, then the next thing will be a long talk that's a Q&A giving support to artists. And so I'm not one thing all the time. But let's be honest, of all of you out there, are you one thing all the time? Or are you a spectrum? Because me, I'm a spectrum. I'm a lot of different things at different times. I'm not always up, I'm not always down. I'm this, that, and I'm another thing. And I think that sharing the totality of that journey is kind of cool because it really lets you into my world as an artist. And it's not just, hey, here's a guy that's got this polished thing that is scripted. I come on and I stumble over the words and I don't know what to say and I don't always have the answers, but I'm very candid and honest and I'll shoot the shit with you and I'll share the experiences and I'll share the struggles and I'll share the failures and I will try to help you find the success so that you don't have to go through some of the stumbling blocks that I did because I know how hard it's been. Someone said, keep doing your thing. I love your videos and sense of humor. It's a great balance. Well, oh, thank you. Thank you. So I think that that's the plan too. I'll still have some of the stuff where I tell the jokes on the shorts, but I do want to get back to some of the serious stuff. And the reason being is that I don't feel like there's a lot of people out there talking about that. And I don't feel like there's enough people out there talking about mental health or the struggles of being an artist because it is very tough right now in the art market. Sales are way down because people don't have the budget that they once did for art. And so a lot of people that are very creative, very talented, putting themselves out there or trying to put themselves out there, they're running into stumbling blocks and it's making them feel like they're not enough. And it has nothing to do with whether or not they are enough. It has to do with a struggling market because I'm feeling it myself. And so I think it's important for somebody like me that is a career artist that is doing this to let you know that I am going through this. And so if you are struggling, it is not an indication that you are not enough. Someone said, as a new artist, I greatly appreciate your content. I try to learn from a variety of artists. Thank you. And I do hope to give you more educational stuff. And I think that that will be the benefit. I'm going to try to do these live feeds at least a couple times a month. I'll try to do them on the weekends. This was my first time doing it on mobile, and I'm actually noticing a lot more people tuning in or that were tuned in a minute ago than in the past. I don't know if that's because I grew my audience over the past like 6 months through the shorts or what, but who knows? I would love to do better on YouTube. I have wanted to spend more time on YouTube for a while. I feel like for educational based stuff, I feel like it would be a really good place. I've just never been able to perform really well here. None of my videos have done particularly well. Granted, most of them are live feeds because I don't sit down and do polished videos. I just come on and I'm honest with people and I give the information and then I duck out. Like I don't want to create a scripted program with commercials and smooth transitions and all the other stuff that goes into that. Like, hey, time is money. I got stuff to do. I'm an artist. I want to make art. First and foremost, it's about the art. So that goes back really to the topic of today, which is the art is the most important thing. Telling your story, making the work. Social media is supposed to be an accessory. It's supposed to be something that can help you to get your work out there and give you an opportunity to share yourself, to share your story. And I think that too many of us have really been tethered down by social media and become enslaved to it because it very much is like a drug. And I say that as somebody that is guilty of being susceptible to this and of being pulled into its depths. Because when you perform well on social media, for example, and then all of a sudden it dies off, you start to again question like, geez, do I not have what it takes anymore? Did I do something wrong? Did I upset people? it's so easy to be at the mercy of the metrics. And I'm not just saying this as somebody that has a lot, because it'd be easy for people to say, well, I don't have a lot of followers, but you do. So for that reason, it's easy for you to say that. But no, like I'm not making a ton of money off of social media. I am grateful for the platform that I have. But the way that I grew social media is that I've been doing it for many, many years, and it has been very, very slow growth. But during those periods of growth, I've been making art the whole time. And I'm having to remind myself lately to put the art first, because I did start to notice that I was paying too much attention to the social media and starting to almost put the social media first and become a content creator before being an artist. And if that's what you want to do, I'm not passing judgment. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I'm an artist. I'm a big time introvert. I have Tourette's. I'm neurodivergent. I have traumatic brain injury. I'm not super good with people, despite how it may seem from me coming on and talking here. This is just from experience. I do this so much, and I just kind of, to an extent, don't care what people think about me. Like, I can't really say that I don't care what people think about me, because I'm talking about metrics and engagement and relating to people. So obviously I do to some point, but there's an extent, or a point to which I am just okay with being who I am. And if people don't like me, then people don't like me. And people are always going to have opinions. And you could be a wonderful artist and you may be posting some great work and you may not be getting the engagement. So don't think that the response you get on social media is a reflection of the quality of your work or the value of what you are doing. It may just take time. It may just not be your niche. You may just not be finding your niche. And if you just keep being true to yourself, I think that you will find your people. And that's kind of the journey that I'm on right now, is continuing to try to find my people by doing my thing, being true to myself, getting back to that. And I will be mixing things up, like I said, and these live feeds like this will be your chance to, at no cost, ask me any questions you have. I am doing the teaching and coaching again. Those are paid services, but I've got decades of experience in the industry, worked with lots of galleries, have sold over $1 million in art over the course of my career. It sounds like a big number, but like when you take $1 million and you divide it over, as many years as I've done it, it's not as much as it seems. Like, I'm grateful, I'm proud of it, but like I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm gonna teach you how to make $100,000 a month selling your art on social media. That's not really how it goes from my experience. So if anybody else out there is actually doing that, that's great. But I think there's a lot of people out there misrepresenting themselves and trying to sell you on programs that they don't really have. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. So I'm going to come on. I'm going to stumble over my words. I'm going to say some of the wrong things. I'm going to piss some people off. I'm going to be redundant. I'm going to be repetitive. I'm going to be the neurodivergent weirdo that I am. And hey, I'm cool with it. I invite you to join me on the journey. I'm just trying to find my voice, and I hope I can help you to find yours. I'll give you another 60 seconds. Does anybody have any questions? If I could give my younger self advice, it would be to ask somebody with the experience the questions if I ever have the opportunity. I spent a lot of money going to art school, and the things that I can share with you cost me many thousands of dollars and years of schooling and education to learn. So sometimes you don't know what you have. So I'm telling you what you have here. And I would love it if you would tell other people about me, if you would share my videos. Like I said, I haven't done super well on YouTube, but if some of you would just go through, watch a couple of my videos, or hey, just put them on and fucking like them and share them with people, you can help me grow. And every little bit helps. So if you're not interested in buying a big piece of art, which I understand a lot of you are artists, you're not interested in buying a big piece of art, but hey, if you drop me $3, $5 on my store, you can donate $3, $5. I will send you a sticker. I got some Paint Hub stickers. I do sell the shirts. I got a bunch of cool shirts and merchandise on my shop, and I ship a lot of that stuff free worldwide. So even if you're not in the US, I cover shipping for a lot of that stuff. So I help not just with the process of making art and techniques, but the business side of art from my many years of experience doing this, building the business, and all of the many things that I do. So someone said, I love the shirt. I got them. I got the shirts. I got the hoodies, CariniArts.com. free shipping, and if you buy one, I send you a couple stickers too. So I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. But it was kind of cool to come on here with this new format that I'm seeing for live that I didn't see before, because I never had 6 people on a live feed before. I'm telling you, I think I at most had like 2 people on at one point. But maybe it's because I was trying to do it on my computer. But that's because I'm an old dinosaur trying to figure out life and trying to roll with it and adapt with the times. So I appreciate all of you. And hey, if we can have this level of engagement moving forward, I'm happy to spend more time on YouTube. But if you didn't know, if you go to my page, I have hundreds, literally hundreds of support talks on a variety of topics, from pricing your art to marketing your art to which social media platforms are working for me. And again, sometimes I go back and I have new conversations about these things because this industry is so filled with ups and downs, and it changes all the time. So I think it's important to come back and visit them, because it's not like you hit a milestone and boom, everything's done. It's you're always adapting, you're always changing. So someone said they found me on YouTube. Okay, okay. So you know what? This is a good affirmation. This is telling me that YouTube has done some good for me, despite some of the terrible, awful trolls that I see here. That oh god. So again, I'll leave on this. If you're an artist and you put your work out there, I have great respect for you, and I'm proud of you, because it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there and to share your work. And there are people out there that will try to tear you down for no other reason than the fact that you are doing something that you love, and they just want you to be miserable because they are not doing anything. And it doesn't matter how good you get, people will still try to tear you down. So it hurts, but don't let that stop you from doing what you love. So I'm proud of you. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time.